Hi, I'm Jennifer from Shabby Fabrics. Today I'm going to show you how to make a classic block. I love this block. It's the spool block. It's been around for a long time, and what we have behind here is a beautiful collection. Our very first from Shabby Fabrics, called Welcome Home Collection 1, and it's just a variety of all of the fabrics and a few of the shadow plays from Maywood Studio. And again, it's just kind of celebrating this block. I've always been just attracted to it, and I wanted to show you how to make it. The first thing you want to do to make this quilt is go to our homepage, shabbyfabrics.com. At the very bottom, there's a link that says free downloads. Click that. You're looking for the Spool Quilt, and go ahead and download both pages, and that'll tell you what size to cut your fabrics to. So I won't bother you with the specifics of those measurements. I'm just going to show you how the block goes together, and it's great for a layer cake. I grabbed that just to show you it does have a beautiful variety. If you want a larger quilt, you probably might want to consider a fat quarter set, or maybe even a half-yard set of the Welcome Home collection, or whatever fabrics you might be using, and that way you can grow the quilt to whatever size you want it to be. The block is so simple to put together. As you can see, there's basically the center portion, the top and bottom of the spool, and then the sides. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll just bring out our center, and that's kind of your big color splash. And as you can see on the quilt behind us, we chose lighter colored background so that the spool and the middle, the thread portion of the spool, would really stand out. But you can choose whatever you want. I've also seen the backgrounds in black, just a solid black. And again, the spool color and the thread really jumps off there, especially if it's a vibrant color. So you can decide on whatever color palette you want. You'll have your thread in the middle, your two background pieces, and then you'll have your upper portion, which is your top spool, and you'll also have your bottom spool. Now, for the upper portion, you'll just have these little squares, and how you join them up here, I'll put this off to the side for the moment, is you'll just draw a line corner to corner, just like that. Same over here. And you'll just place that as you can envision this. Let's see, we want it to go like that, right? Because we want this to look like that. So can you see that? That'll be like this top row. So we'll bring that to the sewing machine, and we simply sew on the line. And you'll go ahead and sew on the line here, and sew on the line here, and here's this like that. And this will be like that. See how that is? Then take that out of the way. Once you have that, I like to bring out my pressing mat. In fact, I'll just do this off to the side. Before I trim this away, I like to press that. And I just press to the outside. And that's, once I'm satisfied, it looks good, then I'll go in and I trim that 1/4 inch seam allowance here, and again down here, and of course on the top and the top spool as well. Okay, so now you have the upper portion. Of course, your middle, you would just sew a 1/4 inch, press, sew a 1/4 inch, and press, and we've done that ahead of time. So this is what your spool will look like right here, okay? And then, as you can imagine, now it looks like it's not going to work. I wanted to point this out. When I was first making this block, I thought, why is this not working? Notice how that point does not line up with your square. This is the nature of working with things that are kind of have a triangular shape. Just trust that when you line up that edge and this edge and you sew it together, in fact, let me just do that so you can see it will work, I promise. When things don't have the right sight picture, it definitely throws me sometimes. because I wanted you to see this, that it does work. And you see how those points came together beautifully, right? Right there. And of course you repeat the same step with the upper portion. Now we went ahead and obviously sewed our block, press the seams open. So there's your block, and you'll just continue to make blocks that way. And we alternated them, right? Spool this way, spool that way, spool this way. That's kind of the interlocking part of that block. And you would just continue to lay out your rows, piecing them side by side and then top to bottom. That's all there is to making the spool quilt from Shabby Fabrics.